2024, a war of ideologies. BJP builds poll narrative. Ram Mandir to galvanize Hindu vote. BJP looks south to strengthen weak base. Congress counter of Nyay. A yatra aimed at the Hindi heartland. Will the message filter down? Will Congress connect with lost audience? BJP mission south versus Nyay through Hindi heartland.
All right, so which of the two will gain traction in their respective holds? Let's take that question to our panelists this evening. Joining me is Ashutosh, political analyst, Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, Guru Prakash Paswan, national spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Aishwarya Mahadev, spokesperson, Congress. Let's begin with our political analysts and we'll cut across to our political debate with our spokespersons later. Amitabh Tiwari and Ashutosh, bringing you in right on top. Amitabh Tiwari, it's interesting if you look at it, out of 303 in the last election, 29 of the South. All right, we don't have Amitabh Tiwari. I believe we only have Aishwarya Mahadev. So Aishwarya Mahadev, the first question is to you. Okay, we have Amitabh Tiwari. Let's cut across to Amitabh Tiwari and we'll go across to Aishwarya Mahadev. Amitabh Tiwari, the question, sorry, apologies, a bit of a confusion on our back end there. But Amitabh Tiwari, you know, the question that I asked you, out of 303, the BJP in 2019 had 29 seats. That's fairly about 9% of the seat share. With the Congress, it was over 53% because you know, a chunk of their seats came in from the south of India. This time around, but having said that, the caveat lies in the fact that the Congress continues to lose the seats in the Hindi heartland and the BJP continues to make that gain in the south of the Vindhyas. How do you gauge the situation?
So essentially, even if BJP's overall tallies only 10% seats came from the south of India, if you see the 130, 132 seats of south, there's not much difference between the BJP's tally and Congress's tally. They were almost at equal number of 30, around 30 each. Bulk of the seats are won by the regional parties, some of them being part of the UPA, which is the DMK, and some non-aligned like YSRCP and BRS. So this time around, if you see, there is a lot of debate on BJP having maxed out in the north of India. But out of Congress party's 52 seats, 23 seats, which is roughly half, come from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So there is a risk of maxing out for the Congress party as well, in line with what we talk about BJP in the Hindi heartland. That's number one. Number two, BJP
but Amitabh Tiwari, the Congress can then make the gains in a place like Karnataka and Telangana, where the BJP did well the last time.
Yes. So now coming to Telangana and Karnataka. So in Telangana, Congress party has done well in state elections, but national elections are a different ball game. The Modi factor will come into play in a larger way in Telangana. Even in Karnataka, if you see, in last 2019, 25 seats were won by the BJP, and the Modi factor was fairly strong here, with 53% of voters who voted for BJP voting for the party due to Modi, whereas the national average is only 33%. So there's a strong Modi factor there, which could work in party's favor, despite Congress having done well in the state elections and claiming that they would be sweeping the state. If you look at the recent surveys, BJP is likely to decline by 6 to 8 seats as per the ETG research survey of December 13, and the Congress is likely to bag 6 to 8 seats. Now we'll have to see how this pans out in the next 3 to 4 months. BJP's real focus will be on Karnataka and Telangana, whereas it also is trying to make a debut in Kerala with inductees like Anil Antony, and in some seats like Thrissur, where it has generally done well in the past. But the loss of ADMK can be a big loss in Tamil Nadu. for the party.
But Amitabh Tiwari, as I cut across to Aishwarya Mahadev, a quick question. Do you see, because it's interesting, the language of the BJP changes in the south of India. Usually in Kerala, they'll talk about the Modi guarantees. They'll talk to women directly, the Prime Minister there. In Tamil Nadu, it's about regional pride, linguistic pride, at least the messaging from the Prime Minister. Today, we also saw a push where Hindutva was concerned for the south. So is there a way to maybe in certain, in certain sections to invoke religion pride or the Hindu before caste dynamics kick in?
No, the communication essentially depends upon the target audience. So in Tamil Nadu, as you said, Hindutva may not work, but then the message will be development and betterment of the lives of the people. Whereas in states like Karnataka, perhaps, where there is a high level of religiosity, Hindutva will be the plank of the BJP in especially the coastal Karnataka, while in Kerala it will again be better development and inclusive development rather than Hindutva. So the message changes depending upon the type of audience or the target voter.
All right, okay. Ashutosh, bringing you in on this, and then we'll cut across to Aishwarya Mahadev. The question is, at one end, if you look at just 2019 figures, 303 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 29, that tantamounts to nothing more than about 9% of the seats, of the total seats that the BJP won in south of India. It was very different for the Congress. Over 53% of the seats it won in 2019 came in from the south. But the dichotomy, Ashutosh, lies in the fact that at least the graph of the BJP is rising in the south, while where the Hindi heartland is concerned, the Congress's graph continues to fall.
No, but I don't see where the BJP's graph is rising in south. If you look at
since the 80s, Ashutosh, they've only done better progressively with every election.
But not good enough to convert into seats, except Karnataka. I don't see anywhere the graph is rising. They have been trying very hard in Kerala. They have been trying very hard in Tamil Nadu. But how many seats they are winning? And forget about that. Even you go to the Odisha, out of 21 last time, they got only 7 seats, Lok Sabha seats. And then Telangana, they got 4 seats. But again, in Andhra, they are just blank. In Punjab, there is a blank in that sense. So I don't see that the graph is rising. Yes, in terms of vote percentage, might be increasing by 1%, 2% or 3%, whatever it is. But the graph is not rising as is not crossing the critical mass unless they get they cross a critical mass, which they have done successfully in Karnataka. And Karnataka model is a wonderful model for the BJP, because in parliamentary elections, BJP has been doing exceedingly well in parliamentary elections. And in fact, last time they got 26 seats, including one of their supporters, out of 28, which is amazing. And since 2004, 2009, 2014, BJP has been getting almost 20 seats. But in assembly elections, they still now has not been able to manage a majority on them. So Karnataka,
but the vote share, Ashutosh, the vote share even in a state like Kerala has been rising for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the dichotomy I'm trying to draw is where the Congress comes into play in the Hindi heartland and possibly the BJP trying to make inroads in the south. At least in the Hindi heartland, you see the Congress being completely wiped out election by election.
But where it is wiped up? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
For a prime example, election by election 2019, look at what happened in Uttar Pradesh, what happened in Bihar, even, let's not go to West Bengal, but even if you just talk about the Hindi heartland states, Rajasthan, Gujarat.
See, UP and Bihar is a different case altogether. It's an exceptional case for the Congress party, because Congress it's not that just because the Modi is on the rise and that is why the Congress has failed to do good except in the last, look at the last 30 years. 2009 election was an exception, because there the Congress got 21 seats and they were number 2 after Samajwadi Party. But otherwise, they are not doing well in UP elections, in UP and in Bihar both. But yes, I agree with you. In terms of the parliamentary elections, they are drawing blank in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, even up to certain in Chhattisgarh, Haryana, all these states. But it is their failure. But in assembly elections, they are still maintaining their 40% vote share. In 2018, surprisingly, they won all 3 assembly states in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. So assembly
Right,
election, yes, they are doing well. They are in fact are maintaining their vote share. But in parliamentary elections, they are doing badly. There's no doubt
all
about
right,
it.
but Aishwarya, that's the point. You're up fighting a parliamentary election and not an assembly election. And if you look at it on just following the trajectory of your Nyay Yatra right now, making inroads into states right now which are reverberating, which some would say the Ram wave, and on top of it, with your track record in the past. Even if you compare to the push of the Prime Minister or a very concerted push by the BJP on the south of India, don't you feel you're falling short?
Good evening, Preeti. I think a few things I want to highlight before that. First and foremost, for a government that speaks about development, Achhe Din and Vikas, it is rank irony that a temple and an inauguration of a temple has become the cornerstone of their entire election, which tells you that the plank of development that they're trying to sell a majority of this country is something that doesn't hold good, or rather it also shows the actual performance. On the second hand, when they come down to the south, and also which is why they consistently get rejected, is because of the discerning voter in the south who consistently asks for an agenda of development. When Sir spoke about how Karnataka, the last time we drew only one MP for the Congress, it was because of a failed alliance with the JDS who is now a coalition partner of the BJP, which ensured that the workers couldn't work with their traditional enemies, which is a larger learning course for the alliance also today. And I believe today in Karnataka and Telangana and in the south, you have seen whether if you promise development, whether it is an IIT, whether it is development in Upper Bhadra, whether it is Mekedatu, whether it is the funds that have to come to the south or devolution in finance commissions, the south has consistently seen the sort of hypocrisy of the BJP, which is why we're rejecting it. So the new sort of dialogue now is the cultural hegemony aspect, which has taken over a larger chunk of this country, where you come to the south and where you will speak not in Hindi, but you will address where you will address the people in English, which the South recognizes larger as a bridge language. You will listen to the Sundarkandam, you will listen to the Ramayana and those regional languages, and you're making that push. It is basically a lack of ideology. It is gumption and opportunism as and when, and they will take what they can get at this point. But I will concede that the 2024 elections are a watershed moment, and where we have lost in the north, I believe our allies, especially with the India alliance, where traditionally we cut each other's vote bank, in a lot of places we can try to work around it to ensure that the BJP doesn't gain. It takes a lot of strategy, but I believe that we can significantly counter this impact. The Nyay Yatra also, if you look at the symbolism of Manipur and where it's going through, it is talking about justice for regions that have been traditionally ignored. Right? And that, I believe, is something that is resonating with the people, and we will take it forth to 2024 as well, Preeti.
Amitabh Tiwari, do you think the problem of the BJP in the south is what the problem of the Congress has been in, part of the Hindi heartland, not all, is having strong regional leaders? Prime Minister Modi can be on the ticket in the Hindi heartland and sweep it, but the same doesn't cut it when you're in the south of the Vindhyas. You need strong regional leaders to take on regional satraps. Similarly, the Congress's problem has been they haven't been able to find strong leaders in the Hindi heartland, save just maybe a Rajasthan or a Madhya Pradesh at times.
Yeah, so BJP has always had regional satraps like Shivraj Chauhan, Sundara Raje, Raman Singh, etc. in the north of India, and including Modi and Uddhav Thackeray at one point of time in the west. Now, in the south of India, what has happened is that, as you mentioned, the BJP lacks strong cadre, like in the north, west, and east probably, and also does not have strong leadership. So wherever in south of India is largely also a battle of BJP versus regional parties. Correct. Let's say in Telangana is the same battle. In Karnataka, largely it is a BJP versus Congress battle, except for Karnataka, where BJP has had strong leadership in form of Yediyurappa. The party does not have strong leaders in any of the other states. They are still grooming leadership, and that is one of the reasons why they are not able to add on to BJP's and Modi's votes. So regional leaders also bring votes in their name to party's kitty, and since BJP does not have tall leaders in south of India because it has never won a state except for Karnataka, it lacks leaders, and that becomes one of the weak points of BJP in in south of India when it goes and fights elections.
All right, let's also bring in Guru Prakash Paswan, who's now joining us live. Guru Prakash Paswan, the debate practically right now is two very different narratives. One, the BJP trying to build in the south and the Congress trying to build in the north of India. And there seemed to be a deficit, at least on both parts, the Congress facing in the north, what the BJP is facing in the south.
Preeti, a very warm good evening to you and my fellow panelists. But we need to understand a couple of things first. That as far as BJP in South is concerned, it's not news to us. We have had a remarkable presence in South of India. We have had a president from South India for the party, Mr. Jana Krishnamurthy, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. Today, the Honorable Finance Minister, the Honorable Foreign Minister, they come from South of India. In Puducherry, we have our ministers. We have in alliance in sharing power in Puducherry. In Telangana, we have 4 members of parliament. In Telangana, we have 14% of votes. In Karnataka, we have the largest share of member of parliament. And Karnataka, as we all know, it's a cyclical election. In 2024, which is going to be a watershed year, we are going to see the onset of the Bharatiya Janata Party in South as well. But we don't necessarily buy this argument. This is an argument of fault line on which the Congress party thrives, on which the Congress party survives. Kabhi North South kar do, kabhi East West kar do, kabhi Dalit OBC kar do, kabhi Hindu Muslim kar do. But for the Bharatiya Janata Party, Preeti, let me make this very clear. 140 crore people of India, North, South, Hindu, Musliman, Dalit, Samanya, Brahman, Pandit, all of them are Indian first and Indian lastly. We don't buy this argument at all. I agree to you. I agree with you when you say that the Bharatiya Janata Party, in terms of political representation, has not made a significant impact. But 2024, it's going to be a watershed year. We have had 4 MLAs in Tamil Nadu as well. The amount of focus. We saw a Kashi Tamil Sangamam. We saw a Saurashtra Tamil Sangamam. We saw a symbol of civilizational heritage, the Sengol in the new parliament building as well. So we don't necessarily buy this argument of a north-south divide. It is the Congress party that survives and thrives on this. But Bharatiya Janata Party, it is matter of oneness. It is matter of one India.
All right, but that might be, what is it for the Bharatiya Janata Party? And I want to bring in Ashutosh back into this conversation. But the fact is, Guru Prakash Paswan, you won only 29, which you concede, where political representation is concerned, of the 303 seats. And whether one likes it or not, if you're going to look at it politically, there is a very clear north-south divide, electorally speaking. And that has to be looked at. Ashutosh, I want to bring you back into the conversation, taking off from what Amitabh Tiwari said. The problem, is it, what we were discussing, BJP's problem in the south has been the Congress's problem in the north, that is regional strong leadership. The Prime Minister cuts it, sweeps the Hindi heartland, but that ticket doesn't carry south of the Hindiyas.
See, Preeti, let me give you a few figures. In 5 states, that is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra and Punjab, 114 seats, BJP could win only 7 seats. So the BJP strike rate in these states is less than 7%. If you add Odisha, then out of 135 seats, BJP could win only 14 seats. Their strike rate is approximately 11%. If you add Maharashtra and Bihar, out of 223 seats, BJP could win only 59 seats. The strike rate is less than 30%. These are BJP's problem areas. And let me say this with a little audacity, that in parliamentary elections, Congress is drawing a blank, but Congress vote share in these states are not less than 30%. Where the BJP does not have a 30% vote share in Kerala, nor in Punjab, nor in Tamil Nadu, nor in Telangana, neither in Andhra Pradesh, and in Punjab, these are the states. In Bihar and in Maharashtra, till now, what is going to happen in the future, I do not know. But in these Bihar and Maharashtra, in Bihar, BJP has failed to score to get 30% vote share. When it contested alone, In 2014, their vote share was something around 23 point something, some percentage. So,
Okay.
So if you go by these numbers,
okay. All right, Guru Prakash Paswan.
Even in,
all right, you made your point, Ashutosh. Let me bring in. Do you concur, Mr. Paswan?
No, Preeti, I think this argument of vote share is a very convenient argument. If I can go back to 2004, which our Congress friends are very fondly remembering, in 2004 parliamentary election, our senior journalist friend Ashutosh ji would very well remember that the vote share of Bharatiya Janata Party was higher than the Congress party. The seat difference was also a very marginal difference. So this argument is of very, if it suits your convenience, you will take this argument. Otherwise, you won't take this argument. Ashutosh ji, in Bihar, last parliamentary election, out of 40 parliamentary seats, the NDA scored 39. In 2014, we saw 32. In 2009, we saw 30. So this is not an argument that works. In 2020 assembly election of Bihar as well, we have emerged as the second largest party. So a vote share ka argument is a very convenient argument which we don't necessarily buy. But if you look at south of India, I was looking at the figure from Karnataka, Preeti. In 2004, we had 18 members of parliament in Karnataka as well. So historically also, like I said, we have had national presidents of Bharatiya Janata Party from south. We have had a Jana Krishnamurti ji, we have had a Bangaru Lakshman ji, we have had a Venkaiah Naidu ji. So just to say this very flatly, कि south में BJP नहीं है, south में BJP का presence very marginal है, we don't necessarily buy this argument. Most important two crucial portfolios today. And we are proud to say that Mr. Subramaniam Jaishankar comes from Tamil Nadu.
Okay,
Madam
Aishwarya
Nirmala
Mahadev.
Sitharaman
Okay,
comes from
Aishwarya
Tamil Nadu.
Mahadev.
The
all right, not so much electorally, but the BJP is at least speaking the language to garner the vote from a a pocket which they consider weak, and they've been doing it. The examples given right there by Guru Prakash Paswan, be it the Sengol or even the Ramlalla, the Murthy, which is going to be coming in from Karnataka.
Symbolism and platitudes are well and good, but when issues of development come by, the South gets massively ignored by the central government, and I'll tell you how, right? Before the Karnataka elections, you saw massive announcements, whether it was the Bhadra project, whether it was the metro inauguration, and we saw a whole bunch of basically a tour of the South and especially Karnataka by all the leadership that was there. Right after the Karnataka elections and after the BJP's decimation, how much is the flood relief that my state has asked for and for drought relief? Because you've seen massive, unprecedented crop losses this year, and you saw that the central government did not listen to them.
Okay.
You've also seen, even in the South, even in Chennai, how much of the relief after the floods have come for them? Zero. You've also seen, whether it is devolution of the finance commissions, you see that the South consistently loses out, including where you put terms of, TOR, such as saying you incentivize states that have less population control, while the South has basically set replacement level of population. You basically have to put your money where your mouth is and actually have to will. Not just during elections for electioneering.
All right, okay, closing comments, Guru Paswan, 20 seconds, sir, then I'm going to cut across to the other panelists. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this argument is completely beyond my comprehension because the data suggests something else. If you look at the data, the NDA government in the last 9 years have given 2.5 times more money than the UPA 1 and UPA 2 combined. 10 lakh crore has been spent on railways and road. And for your kind information, for the kind information of the viewers, Tamil Nadu is a state with a debt of 8 lakh crore. What is the model of development? We don't understand. Infrastructure, investment, connectivity, airports, railways, roads, port. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA which has made the South of
data something which Guru Prakash Paswan, you yourself stated, can be read as per convenience. So Aishwarya Mahadev, sorry, I've run out of time, Aishwarya, that you are reading it out, and that charge can also be leveled at Mr. Paswan's doorstep. But bringing in both our political panelists, 20 seconds closing, Amitabh Tiwari, very two different narratives. Closing comments, sir. The South look South policy of the BJP and Nyay through the heartland of India.
See, the BJP is trying to expand its presence and tally in the southern India, and it is giving a push, different messages in different states depending upon the target audience. One thing we need to understand is that there is a management principle of 80-20. 80% of results come from 20% of outcomes. BJP has applied this in the Lok Sabha election. 80% of its seats come from 20% of the states. So only 6 states, and which includes West and Eastern India, and southern India as well account for 188 seats. UP, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, MP, Karnataka, 188 seats out of 303 come from these 6 states itself.
All right, Ashutosh, 20 seconds, we're going to close the show.
See, BJP always think, and I rightly say, that the Congress is the biggest threat to the BJP. For the simple reason, because in 2000, because if you look at the figure, in 2012, BJP was only having 15% vote share in UP. Within 2 years, BJP jumped from 15% to 42%. And the seat was 73. And BJP in 2009 has all India base only 7 crores. And the BJP Congress, despite the worst performance, is still maintaining 10 to 11%. You never know when this 10 to 12% is going to be 15% and 16%. Like BJP's vote share jumped from 7 crore to 17 crore in.
But many would say that might be a tall ask right now, Ashutosh. But the debate is open. We're going to leave it at that. We've run out of time. Appreciate all our panelists for joining us.